Hello and welcome to The Art of Costume. I'm Elizabeth Joy Glass.
And I'm a depressed artist from the 1600s, Spencer Williams.
I think he was older than that.
Yeah, they were old as hell.
Everybody, this week we watched Only Lovers Left Alive.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Like, I'm not even going to ask you how you are, Spencer, because I'm like, I just need to get into this.
Well, it's funny, like first of all, Vampire Month has been absolutely wild, and every vampire has been incredibly hot, and this film lived up to...
No exception.
Yeah, no exception. It's funny, though. It's like every episode, not every episode, but most of our episodes, you know, one of us... There's no scientific method to when we pick certain films. You know, like we like to get into our themes.
Yeah.
But... we're never like, oh, like this one got really good ratings or this one. Like, we're just like, we kind of pick whatever.
Because we're living off vibes at this point.
We're living off vibes at the Art of Costume podcast. And sometimes I'll pitch something to Elizabeth and she'll be like, eh. And sometimes she'll pitch something to me and I'll be like, eh. This is a film where we both were like, I don't know. Like I know nothing about this movie. I don't remember it coming out. I knew nothing about it when Elizabeth told it to me. I had no idea it existed.
Even going into the research, this movie's way older than I thought it was originally. This movie is 12 years old. It's older than Crimson Peak. I didn't realize it predated Crimson Peak.
Which is wild. It's 2013.
Yeah.
But boy, was it fun.
Oh man, it was fun. I texted Spencer. I was like, I just watched Only Lovers Left Alive. I was like, it was wild, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah, and I think my response was like, yeah, me too.
And so I was at work today, and they were like, oh, like, how was your night? And I was like, oh, like, I watched this movie. And they were like, oh, like, what's that? And I was like, do you know, have you seen like What We Do in the Shadows? And unfortunately, this person had not. But I'm like, what we did, Only Lovers Left Alive, I feel like is like a hidden camera version of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, but not a comedy.
Not a comedy. It had like some dramedy vibes to it.
Yeah.
Just because like it's kind of a little bit ridiculous, especially with all of their sunglasses.
Their sunglasses, which I'm very excited to wear these sunglasses for the rest of the episode.
Me too. I was even more excited once I saw a picture of Jim Jarmusch. I have not seen many of his films. I do think Only Lovers Left Alive, though, might be his like spirit animal.
His biopic. Yeah, director Jim Jarmusch is such an interesting, cool guy. I mean, he's an American filmmaker and has just always been a major proponent of independent cinema since dating back to the 1980s, potentially a vampire himself, and is, of course, a musician. He also, for those of you that maybe don't know who he is, he does have a cameo on What We Do in the Shadows as well with Sofia Coppola, if you watch that episode at Club Najas. So yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's a good episode. You will know him.
I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, you'll know him for his work on Stranger Than Paradise, Broken Flowers, Patterson, and The Dead Don't Die, which is a more recent film. So how about we give a summary of Only Lovers Left Alive?
Go for it, Spencer.
Artistic, sophisticated, and centuries old, two vampire lovers ponder their ultimate place in modern society. However, their romance and depressive episode is disrupted by the arrival of an uncontrollable younger sister, and that is Only Lovers Left Alive. But honestly, I feel like that summary is a bit generous, because to me, if I were to summarize this plot, I would say it's just two people being vampires, being depressed, and just hang out on the couch and listen to records for 2 hours.
Literally. Honestly. Yeah. Like this was almost like the Stardew Valley concert of movies, because there were some points where I was just like zoned out. listening to the music.
It plays like a YouTube ambiance video where it's just two hot people just in their druggy looking apartment in their robes, drinking blood and just being like, oh, I remember chilling. William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm obsessed with this movie.
And like the aesthetic is so perfect. Let's meet our costume designer, Bina Daigeler. You will know her work from Narcos Season 1, The Limits of Control, which she also did with Jim Jarmusch, Dumplin', Mrs. America, Euphoria, and Tar, for which you interviewed her, Spencer.
Yes, I love the movie Tar with Cate Blanchett. That is one of my favorites, honestly. I loved it. And we do have a older podcast episode with Bina Daigeler, who I absolutely adore. And I did not realize that Bina did this film until we started putting the research together. So I feel kind of dumb because Bina, I definitely would have reached out to you if I knew.
Yeah.
But still, we get to talk about it. And I'm very happy for that. So let's take a little break, have a little tiny, very, very tiny vampire glass of blood, and we're going to get into these very fun, depressive vampire costumes.
Yes.
This is a lot different than The Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah. Total opposite.
Hi, I'm Dan, who does all the magic behind the scenes. I wanted to say thank you, and if you want to support the show even farther, go to tpublic.com/user/theartofcostume, where you can buy a couple variations of our logo on t-shirts, mugs, and stickers. Also, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and if you're an audio listener, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Now, back to the show.
All right, Elizabeth, are you ready to put on a record and talk about some costumes and talk about life and our cool guitars?
Oh, you know it. You know it. And unfortunately, this was like a little bit more of an indie film, despite the fact that like every single character is played by someone very famous.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think every character is by a pretty phenomenal actor.
Yeah. The only actor I didn't recognize right away was the guy who's like his guitar dealer.
Right. Yeah. Same.
But so this was like a smaller independent film. I think this like came up in my like Pinterest feed a couple years ago when I was doing all the Crimson Peak research.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because we've got Tom Hiddleston. I was shocked I did not know about this sooner, but I was so thankful to find that The Cut did an interview with Bina when the film was released. So everything we're talking about today comes from The Cut. Go look it up if you're interested in this movie. It's a really good read. When it came to the look of this film, which was very specific, Bina said, I think Jim, was looking for something without a specific period, with very simple and clean lines. At this moment, the vampires don't really care about clothes, you know. They lived through that in all the other periods. So they wear something very simple but protective. On the other side, of course, they're like animals. They have their second skin with their clothes. And that was a little bit my idea. That it's like the second skin they got during so many years of living. They'd already lived all the fantasies they could live, so it could be something very, very simple.
Which is wild. That's so a wild quote.
And I feel like kind of what makes Only Lovers Left Alive unique among vampire films is that in their wardrobe, they're not really carrying around pieces of their past. Mm-hmm. It's very much who they are in this moment in their lives.
I think really that quote, Bina summarized really the essence of this film. I mean, it is two people that have literally, I mean, every film that we talk about in Vampire Month has been people at the beginning of their vampiric existence. You know, what are we going to do the many years interview with the vampire? It's like it starts in, you know, at this point and it goes all the way up to like modern society in Dubai. These are two people that have done it. They've done it all. They know all the cool people. They've worn all the cool costumes. They're over it. I mean,
their names are literally Adam and Eve. I'm like, were you the first vampires? Like, what?
Yeah, they're wearing their robes, their fabrics, and they're just like, they don't care. It's like they've lived it all. They've had the cool costumes, and they're just so uninspired by the society that's around them at this moment. So there is no desire within them to try to meet the moment, because they look at where they've come from and they see where they are now. There's nothing inspiring about the world around them to make them want to dress up. And I think that's essentially the crux of the entire film. And it's so dark, but just so relatable too in so many ways.
Absolutely. Especially Adam, played by Tom Hiddleston, living out in the middle of nowhere, just outside Detroit. Like, come on. Like, it's incredible. And to achieve this look, all of Adam and Eve's costumes were custom made of natural fibers, because Bina wanted to show that they're not modern, but also not ancient. She said, "It's just something I had to make because I wanted to have this simple, very specific look of the leather jackets and pants," which I didn't realize. I think it's Tom Hiddleston's pants are leather, but it's such a, like, whoever made these, like, I would love to know, because the pants look so worn in. I thought they were jeans at first, and then like you look a little more closely and it's like, no, that's leather. She also when you look at like Adam and Eve, they're clearly, you know, Eve very much is still happy with being alive. Adam, not so much.
Not at all.
Not at all. And Bina wanted to create a feeling of yin and yang between the two of them,
which I love too. That really, you're talking about how, you know, Adam kind of has like that weathered down look in his pants. I just think he looks weathered down in general. I mean, this is a person who's gone through it literally for centuries and centuries, compared to Eve, who, while, you know, she does feel a little beaten down at times, she definitely still knows how to put herself together when she goes out and, you know, get her little tiny cups of vampire blood. I also love what you said about how they custom made a lot of their stuff too, because they could not have been, you know, they weren't gonna be walking around in large vampiric ruffs either, but they weren't gonna be wearing like, you know, Levi's and a shirt from Abercrombie. You know, like it had to be very specific, where it's not pinpointed to any period, but it's also like you can't get this anywhere either, though. They're just like right in between these two fields of existence.
One thing I love about Eve is she knows how to be comfy. Mm-hmm. She knows how to be comfy, especially when I forget where she's living. Abroad. Oh,
God. Yeah, abroad. It's somewhere incredible.
She is like living her best life. And I'm like, honestly, this looks like a great life. Just listening to music and reading your books. Like, okay. Mm-hmm. And Bina said of working with Tilda, it is a pleasure. It really is a pleasure, because she is so, so inspiring, and her nature is already so glamorous in a good way. She is like a fantasy bird already, naturally. And I'm like, I don't know if anybody has ever described Tilda Swinton so perfectly.
Yeah. And also, dare I say, my Letterboxd review, I was like, this is essentially to me the Tilda Swinton biopic, and I'm not going to hear anything else on the matter, because Tilda Swinton's not beating the vampire rumors, and this film didn't do anything to help.
No.
I was one of the reasons why I was so excited to see this film too was because Tilda Swinton has that cameo in What We Do in the Shadows also in that first season as like the leader of the Vampire Council, and I feel like Eve would do that honestly because she's just totally up for it.
Yeah, she'd be like, ugh, Adam's having one of his depressive episodes. I need to go do something.
yeah, I'm gonna go to the vampiric PTA meeting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, isn't she the one who asked where Rob is too?
Yeah, she's the one that runs the whole thing. It's so good.
And I remember watching that and thinking like, why is like Tilda Swinton's great, but like she never played a vampire.
I always thought Tilda Swinton was playing herself, honestly, because I think Tilda Swinton's a vampire. But anyways.
But it was a reference to this.
Yes. But like you said, glamorous leisure. Like she just knows how to lay in bed like a beautiful portrait.
Absolutely. However, at the beginning, there was a little bit of contention about where they should go with Eve's character. Bina said Jim wanted to have something very, very simple, and Tilda was looking for something perhaps a little bit more playful. They eventually settled on simple because of that timeless feeling they wanted to have that we talked about earlier. But I do feel like Tilda won a little bit in the beginning with those just beautiful like Chinese and like East Asian inspired robes. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
gorgeous.
I get it. If I'm Tilda Swinton, you're booking me to play a vampire, my first vampire film, of course, like the film you want to put me in, you want me to wear pajamas, I would have threw a little bit of a fit too. But like, no, we're not doing. You could put me in PJs, but they're gonna be nice PJs.
They're gonna be fancy. They're gonna be so fancy. But then even because she's clearly living like this very like luxurious kind of like bohemian lifestyle abroad. But when she comes back to the States to be with Adam, she moves into these like very comfy like European robes, which I love, especially like that very like heavy like brownish gray one with like the velvet lapel and cuffs.
Yeah.
Oh, like with her hair up like that, incredible.
Yeah, I mean, she just really kind of like reins it in a little. She does. It's almost like she wants to blend in a little bit. She knows that first of all, she doesn't seem to pack a lot every time. She's just like, whatever, I'll get new belongings. Yeah. And she's like, okay, I'm going to America where things are even more tasteless, so I could just wear this like robe that's gray, whatever.
Yeah. And she's just like shacking up with her hubby, just like hanging out. Like she doesn't need to impress him.
Mm-hmm. They're obsessed with each other, which I love too.
I know.
I love that line never changes. They're like, all these centuries later, I'm with my man, I'm with my wife, and that's not changing.
I love when she picks up the picture of their third wedding. I'm like, these two just, and like even when she comes and Tom Hiddleston's like, okay, I guess I can't be as depressed as I was.
Yeah, he gets it together. And honestly, new couple goals is Only Lovers Left Alive.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know if you caught this, because they really do not care about their appearances anymore.
No.
This is like really reflected in their hair.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them brush their hair.
No.
Except right before she sees Adam again, she clearly brushes her hair. It's like, it looks very nice and it's straight, and it's like throughout the rest of the film, they all have this very like clearly have not washed it in days, like frizzy look to their hair.
Oh, very shaggy, the wigs in this film.
Oh yeah. But right as she's seeing Adam for the first time in who knows how long, she brushes her hair because she's like, I'm gonna look just a little bit better,
right,
for my man.
She's like, that's the least I could do. I haven't seen him in 50 years. I'm gonna put a comb through my hair.
Yeah.
Which is not
Adam
something.
could never be bothered though.
Adam would never comb his hair. I gotta say, I loved Tom Hiddleston in this film.
Yes.
I've never seen what I want to be as a vampire so much so than watching Adam in this film.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like, this is Spencer to a T. After like a couple millennium as a vampire, this would be you. And I'd be coming over like, hey, bestie, what's up? Like, what are you depressed about?
Yeah, you'd be like, you haven't answered your phone in 300 years. And I'd be like, yeah, I've been watching TV.
Yeah. And like building some extraordinary power source. We never came back to that, or the mushrooms. Like,
Yeah, literally Adam is just, all he lives for is just collecting guitars and listening to music. And
making music that no one can know is his.
Also, he has like his weird plug friend that loves to bring him guitars, which not okay when the sister kills him, because he's literally like, that was my one guy, you know? Yeah, he's a human, but like everything else bores me. He calls humans zombies in this, which I just think is fantastic.
It's amazing. And I love when he's like, couldn't she have least have brought him over? Like,
yeah, make him a vampire at least. Like, I don't know.
She just straight up kills him.
But let's talk about Adam's costumes, because they're my favorite, honestly.
And the director, Jim himself, was very much the inspiration behind Adam. And Bina says this whole film is just very him, which I don't really know much about him, but I believe it. I also believe Adam stopped buying clothes in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. Which to him feels like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love, like, because for him, you know, with Eve, it's a lot of yellows and whites. And then when she comes to America, she adds red to that white. Very bright, very light. Adam, lots of black and lots of like burgundy, that deep, deep red. Like they're both like paying homage to blood in their clothing, because they almost like revere blood in this film. I thought it was very interesting. When they're drinking it, it's almost like they're taking communion or like doing like something they consider holy when drinking the blood.
It's sacred, and they clearly need it like a drug almost in this. In this film compared to all other ones, it's like the blood is like the drug and they need it. And it seems like they need it pretty often. And if not, they start looking pretty rough, which is like the entire last act of this film. Yeah, it was great. I love Adam and his just moody, depressive looks. I love his robe that he wears like a majority of this film. It's just, it is kind of 70s in my opinion. And it's also just very kind of, there's like a burgundy maroon to it. The stripes. It's very, I don't know.
It's just Adam.
Yeah, it's just Adam, man. He's just bummed out, and I get it. He's just, you can just, every costume we see is like, oh, it's just kind of drapey and loose, so he's comfortable, but he's also just, I don't know. You could smell like the sweat stains on it almost.
I know.
And you could feel like the pizza boxes next to him if he still ate pizza. You know, like he's just like, I get it. This is how I feel a couple times a year, where I just need to sit in my room in the dark and listen to some, you know, Depeche Mode or whatever and just chill in my black PJs.
Absolutely. You know who's not chilling in black PJs?
No, not this girl.
Ava.
Ava. I love her costumes because
I know
Bina Daigeler did not have to, like, we didn't have to say a lot to tell you who Ava is in terms of like, because her costumes did a lot of the work. Yeah, she has the sunglasses, but they're so colorful and jarring compared to everything else that, like when Adam sees her, you feel the same reaction when she walks up in those colorful outfits. You're like, ugh, like it's like looking at the sun. Who is this? Why are you're doing too much? Why are you so bright and talkative and cheerful? What are you cheerful about? We've been alive for too damn long to be this cheerful.
Also, unlike Adam and Eve, Bina put her in synthetic fibers because she feels like Ava is lost. She's always trying to get the blood. She drinks straight from Adam's poor friend and kills him.
Yeah, which was fucked up.
Yeah. She clearly doesn't like revere the blood like the rest of them do, which is, I think, part of their problem with her.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's just annoying. I feel like she bought a bunch of clothes in the 60s and then stopped buying clothes.
Yeah. When I saw her, I thought of the film Almost Famous a little bit, like that kind of rock and roll girl that's going on tour, wearing like, you know, her coats and colorful colors, the sunglasses. Just, she does feel lost. She doesn't feel like she has a home, and she has to go and crash and ruin other people's sacred spaces. That's what Ava was to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And she really just does it in style, though.
Yeah, I mean, she looks great. Her costumes are good, but just when she's standing next to Adam, you're like, oof, like, who is that? Get her away from me.
When they're at the club with all their glasses, I love that she has like the cat eye ones with just like a little bit of sparkle in the corners.
Mm-hmm. Because that's not what we talked about in the group chat. We said no sparkles specifically, and she didn't listen.
No, she didn't. You know who is listening, though, Spencer? Christopher Marlowe, played by one of my favorites, John Hurt.
Oh, man, what a great actor. I love this man. I also love this character because I thought it was so clever the way I had to look it up. Of course, Christopher Marlowe. You probably know who this is. I didn't know.
I was watching this and I was like, I wonder if Spencer knows. And then I opened up the slides today and I was like, Spencer didn't know.
No, I had to look it up. But it was that quip that they made about how he said he wrote Hamlet, and then that put me in a deep dive, which I'll get into. But Christopher Marlowe was an English playwright, poet, and translator of the Elizabethan era. Marlowe is among the most famous of the Elizabethan playwrights. Modern scholars consider him to have been the foremost dramatist in London in the years just before his mysterious early death. Some scholars also believe that he greatly influenced William Shakespeare, who then later succeeded him as a preeminent Elizabethan playwright. And this is the part that, you know, put me in the deep dive, is that there's an argument that has arisen about the notion that Marlowe faked his death and then continued to write under the assumed name of William Shakespeare and went on to write all these plays. You know, academic consensus rejects this theory, but I still thought, you know, if I was Jim Jarmusch and I saw that, I'd be like, no, he's still alive. Like, that's just the great plot detail to put in there. This is good fun.
I could send you some documentaries.
Please do. I need a good controversy.
Did I send you the other documentaries I said I would? I don't think so.
Talking about Elizabeth? We have a bunch of documentaries. This has been the season of documentaries, starting with Cleopatra.
I made a list of documentaries because I said, I'll send you documentaries for something. Oh, yes, from Elizabeth.
That's what I thought.
Because the guys had a wife who mysteriously died.
Yeah, and then the queen that was crazy, and you know, we've been on the Cleopatra deep dive. We should publish like a list of Elizabeth's supporting documents on our Instagram for all the podcast listeners.
We should. But I love Christopher Marlowe in this, and just like, it's so John Hurt. Like, he's such a cool old man.
And he does kind of give like a scholarly author type look to him too, though. Like, that he still kind of kept that through all of these centuries. And I love that his glasses had more of a round shape compared to everyone else's, because again, it's still giving like, you know, professor, curator, author, playwright vibes about it. It's very subtle, but
it's very subtle.
The round shape
and
does a lot.
He had lots of like very rich like tans in his wardrobe. It's kind of like, oh, he's a writer. Like, he wears his writing in those colors. And I was so sad when he died.
I know. That was uncalled for.
I know.
I was like, this is already depressing. Now they need something else to be depressed about. Adam and Eve take it hard, and I get it.
They do. Well, because who knows how long? Oh, they've known him like 400 years.
Yeah.
Like, You know
Yeah.
somebody that long.
Dude, they knew Galileo. I don't know if Galileo's before or after, but I know it's a long time away.
Before.
Yeah,
Before.
That's what I thought. Like, I didn't say I'm an academic.
I think Adam and Eve are minimum 2,000 years old.
Yeah, they're
Minimum.
pretty old.
Yeah.
They're pretty old.
Pretty old. But that brings us to the end of Only Lovers Left Alive and that poor couple being mauled by Adam and Eve.
Yeah, but they were both looking haggard though at that moment though. I was like,
yeah.
I think it's time to break your guys' little rule and drink up a human.
Well, so because I think what I understood is part of the problem with drinking from people is you don't know what drugs they've taken.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got too.
And like clearly that's what happened to Marlowe. He drank someone who had too many or the wrong drug in him and he died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I got too. Very depressing, but that's what happens. That's a risky run when you're alive for that long.
That's true.
Like, they would make Lestat look like a baby in this. Like, that's what's so crazy to me. Which I love. So let's give this thing a Stitch rating.
Okay.
What are you thinking? You went first last time, so I can say I felt good about giving this a 3.5.
I felt good about giving this a solid 3.
So I'm a little bit higher than you.
Yeah. This is flip-flop from Lost Boys.
Yeah.
This movie was just a little bit too long.
I don't know. I think that's why I liked it, because this film
Really?
was a long film about like just the longevity of life and how, I don't know, like I kind of appreciate that it just leaned into everything. So I just felt, unlike a lot of the other things we've watched this month, I do feel like they kind of took a minute to get into it. It's like, it's right off the bat, like, okay, Adam's depressed. Adam is looking for a wooden bullet. Like, he's over it. And Eve is like, okay, I have to go cheer up my man. Yeah.
Remind him why we continue to live. While you understand what's going on pretty quickly, the in-between bits. I was like, Adam, did you really have to look at like 5 guitars?
I love that. Though.
Like,
I just think like after coming off of Interview of the Vampire, where every minute of that show it's something horrible and horrific.
Yeah.
It's moving at light speed, and then we slowed it so way down for this film that felt jarring a little bit.
Yeah.
And I kind of loved it for that. So I'm going to stick with 3.5. You know what I love more than anything is a fully realized aesthetic, and Only Lovers Left Alive knew exactly what it was from the moment it was written down to its release in theaters,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if this film only has one fan, it's me. So,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Right.
If we can get Bina Daigeler on here to actually talk about it, I'd do a whole other episode for this.
Yeah, look out, Bina. She's probably like, oh shit, not these guys again. Are you ready to play our favorite game?
Yes. The one costume to rule them all. Spencer, what was your one costume to rule them all?
I have to go with Adam's robe. I love that
Strong
maroon.
choice.
I love that maroon like shawl collar and the sleeves. It's just the stripes. It's very, I just love that he lived in it, and you could just tell that like this was almost like his way of kind of shielding himself from the world, and he just wants to be cuddled up in that sleeve. I mean, we all know this. Like, you know what it's like to be out on like a Thursday night, you're at some event, and you're like, God, what I would do to get in my bed with some In-N-Out and my robe. And with the lights off, like he's lived so long where he's like those moments for him are like years long, and he's in that moment right now. He's at home and he does not want any visitors unless you're his smoking hot wife, which always allowed.
Always allowed. My one costume to rule them all is a bit of a twofer. It is Adam and Eve's club look.
Yeah.
The yin and the yang, the glasses, the way he is holding onto her.
Oh, yes.
Where can I find a man to hold on to me the way Adam holds on to Eve in this film?
You know
Like-
what they remind me of? They remind me of that couple. You know, you go to IHOP after being at the club all night. It's now 3 a.m. and there's that one couple in the corner that are drunk, but they just like can't get off of each other. And you're like, sir, this is a IHOP. You guys cannot be hooking up right now.
This is
with
the 24-hour IHOP downtown. This is not the place to be doing this.
with the fluorescent lighting. That's this couple. They're obsessed with each other and they don't give a shit. And they look good with those sunglasses. It's such a vibe.
It's like apart, they look incredible, but together it's like, oh, they're a set. Like they're a perfectly matching pair. And it's so cute.
I feel like Eve would like give him a piggyback ride to the car. Like they're so attached. He would clutch onto her like a koala.
Because he would be like, I can't do it, Eve. I can't go on. And she just like put him on her back.
Come on, darling. Let's go.
Yeah. The sun's about to rise. We can't stay out here.
Yeah. So I love that she's so patient with him too.
Yeah.
Like, after all these years, wow, they really are the best. Yeah, it's
Who
a
would
good
have
one.
thought we would find relationship goals in Only Lovers Left Alive?
Who would have thought we'd find relationship goals in our sexy vampire month in general? Because we have a lot of bad examples in this month. And I think our next episode is the prime example of what not to do in life whatsoever. Elizabeth, please tell everyone what you've been making me watch every night for the 8 hours a day for the past week.
Next week, we will be watching the thing I have forced Spencer to watch this past month. The sexiest of all vampire shows, True
The grand
Blood.
finale. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is probably the craziest show that we have covered on this podcast.
These are the most... your comments on this show have probably been the most insane text messages you have ever sent me.
And I'm only one season in.
Yeah.
I'm on season 2 now, but oh wow. This show is a lot.
It's
a lot. It's wild, but I'm loving it though. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about it. I don't know where to even start with it, honestly. So
We'll get into it next week.
yeah. In the meantime, send us an email at theartofcostume@gmail.com. Let us know what you loved about Only Lovers Left Alive. Are you also a vampire that knew Galileo or William Shakespeare? Are you William Shakespeare? Send us an email.
Let us know.
I would like to hear about it. Things you used to do back then. That'd be pretty cool. Or you could follow us on Instagram at the Art of Costume Pod, TikTok at the Art of Costume. Again, if you are not already, subscribe to us on YouTube where you could see our shining faces. Currently, we are wearing sunglasses like our new couple goals, Adam and Eve, and it's a lot of fun. So, and you get to see our guests and all the favorite costumes that we're talking about. So do it. Subscribe already. Elizabeth, I guess we're going to meet next week in Louisiana again. And things are not looking good out there. Things are not looking good.
They could be better.
We have shapeshifters. I hear that werewolves are going to be involved.
Oh, yeah.
We have Alexander Skarsgård's here. It's just a whole hot mess out on these streets. So I'm excited to talk about it. We'll see you all next week.
See you next week.